Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Katie, and today I'm going to be explaining my new TBR game. This is Katie's Bookopoly, and I'm making this a separate video from my actual play. That way, if you want to check out the rules, the fun, the rewards, the punishments of the game, you can go back and watch this video. So I created a double-sided Bookopoly board. This is Katie's Bookopoly. I designed everything completely. All of the names of the towns and the routes, the roads, everything is completely designed by me. I actually have to stand up because this board is huge. This is going to be the regular board that I'm going to play every single month. And if I do not complete the books that I read for that month, then we flip the board and we play. As soon as I figure out which way it goes, there we go. We play Katie's Bookopoly Galaxy Edition. I honestly will probably fail on purpose just to play this side. I'm just kidding, because there is a reward that can only be rewarded if you play the regular side. So I designed both sides. I actually painted both sides. So I made this incredible fun galaxy, stars everywhere. It's so much fun. So this is actually based on real space. It's not sci-fi themed, but of course there's, sci-fi inspired things as well, but all space related. I'm so excited because I've always loved space. But we're going to go back to this board because this is what we're going to be explaining. So as far as rewards go for this board, I changed it from what I first thought. So my reward is if I can complete one side of the board, doesn't matter what side, this side, that side, whatever, if I can do like the original Monopoly game, we would get, I think it's 3 hotels, or three houses, and then hotels. So I'm going to do the same system, but with this, I'm going to be using books. So if we can complete one bookshelf, which or one shelf on my book cart, I actually am going to order a cute little book cart for this game, plus some 3D printed books. So each time that I land on a spot and I have to complete that book for that month, I will be able to add a book to the TBR cart. And when I complete one shelf on that TBR cart, there's going to be 4 shelves, I get to have a book shopping spree. And I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to have a base amount of $20 for my reward. And then if I land on book tax, which I think there's only 2 spaces for book tax, I will be able to add, I think I'm going to, because there's only 2 spaces of book tax, I'm going to do $20 if I land on those spaces. So anytime I land on those spaces during the months coming, I get to add $20 into my reward fund. So I'm so excited. As soon as I complete one row or one TBR shelf, I get to have a shopping spree. I'm so excited. All right, I'm going to zoom in now to check out all the prompts and everything. So let's go ahead and zoom in. Here we are zoomed in so you can see every single side now. So we have the go space, obviously. I haven't picked what type of playing piece I want to use for this game, so we'll figure that out. Now, as far as rolls go, I'm going to have a base roll of 8 rolls because that's my favorite number. I always choose 8 for absolutely everything that I've ever done in games, I think. Sometimes I do 5, but we're going to do 8 as a base roll. And then if I roll doubles, I'll have to add another book and another roll. All right, so because I read pretty much every single genre out there, each spot is genre themed. I'm so excited. So each prompt is going to coordinate with a certain genre. So I have to pick a certain genre for each spot. First up, I'm going to do all the utilities and stuff first. I think that'll be easier for me. And then I'll go through all of the prompts. So as far as utilities and stuff go, we have a couple of different fun things. So for electric companies / waterworks, we actually have the TBR company, which is right here. We'll flip it around. TBR company, which is right here. The TBR company has to be a book from my 26 books in 2026 or whatever year we're in. It's 2026 now. So TBR company will be a book off of my 26 to read in 2026 because we're so far behind. Now, as far as review reads, which used to be Waterworks, not anymore, review reads is a book I have to review. So it can be from an author, from publisher, whatever, NetGalley. it has to be a review read. So that's super easy. Then we have BookBox. BookBox squares. I have 3 of these, I believe. BookBox is, instead of the treasure chest prompts, we have the BookBox. And these are TBR prompts. So I remembered I had to go get them. So I made these adorable cards that have BookBox on the front. And I'm so excited because I finally created double-sided cards. So we have BookBox. And these are TBR prompts. They can be any type of prompts. This one says, I'm so excited. A book that's on your most anticipated release list. We also have Book Besties. Subscriber poll chooses my read. Home Sweet Home, house on the cover. So I designed all of these. I did the graphics and everything. And I just had so much fun with this. By far, had a great time. Canva. Thank you to Canva. Not sponsored, but Canva's amazing. I created all of these prompts using Canva and the board using Canva, except for the lettering. I already had that done on something else a long time ago, so I decided to keep it. I think it was Pic Collage. Then the other one we have is Meet and Greet, and that's instead of, I forgot what Meet and Greet used to be on the regular board, but we have Meet and Greet, which, where is Meet and Greet? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's the ones with the flower, which are on this side. So we have 2 meet and greet sections right here, meet and greet squares. And so we have meet and greet little cards. And each of these is author-related prompts. So the other book box was TBR or reading prompts. These are actually author-related prompts. So we have, where do you live? An author who lives in another country. Twinsies, author with the same name as you. Rockstar, author you've given 5 stars to in the past. Wish upon a star, author you think you'd love to write a book with. I thought that'd be kind of fun. Pick me, first author to comment on my new Instagram post. I will read a book from them, which I thought was kind of fun. I think that'll be really fun. So I have a lot of author friends, and that'll be fun to see who comments. Check it out. Author has a new book releasing this year. So a lot of different fun meet and greet prompts. I think I have about 50 prompts in each category, and I can always come up with more. Because I'm not sure if I'm going to reuse them. I probably will, because these took a long time to make. Although now that I have these already made on Canva, I can just remake them. And then I created a little section so I can put my cards on there, which is awesome. I love it. It's so much fun. Then we have the railways. And the railways already have the prompts on them, which is so helpful. So we have Fairy Tale Station, which is, of course, read a fairy tale retelling. Nonfiction railway, wow, that's hard to say. Nonfiction railway is a nonfiction book. Mix-up railway, which I can't remember why I put this on there. I really can't remember what mix-up railway is. I think it's just 2 genres together. So romantasy, historical romance, what else would work? Sci-fi thriller, anything that combines 2 genres to create a mix-up book. Then the last railroad is Mood Read Railroad. So we can just have a fun little mood read there. I don't have to pick a book for that. That's just mood reading. I can pick whatever I want throughout the month. For the corner space, we have the Go space, obviously. But I think I might change this into maybe the bookstore or something. I don't know. But then we have the writer's desk, which is technically the jail space. And so on the other side, we have go to writer's desk, of course, because it's usually go to jail. So we have the go to writer's desk, which the writer's desk, I am going to have a spinner wheel. If I land on that, or if I land on go to writer's desk, either way, I'm not visiting here. I'm going to stay here even if I land on it. Writer's desk means that I'm going to have a spinner wheel anywhere between, I will say, 5,000 and 30,000. I think I can do that. Yeah, between 5 and 30,000. And that's how many words I have to write for that month if I land on there. Obviously, I'm still going to try to write every single month, but it'll give me a nice goal every month if I land on it. I'm kind of hoping I'll land on it every month because it'll help me finish books that I need to write. All right, now we can go into the actual spaces. I forgot, we also have free pick over here in the corner, and that's just, I get to pick whatever book I want to read. But it's not like mood read. I actually have to pick a book for that prompt. Okay, on to our different places. I'm so excited. This is Cozy Town. Can you guess? Cozy Town is Cozy Mysteries. So we have 2 spots for Cozy Mysteries. We have Seasonal Street and Foodie Freeway. So Seasonal Street is a cozy mystery that is set during that season. So if we're in summer, I have to pick a summer-inspired cozy mystery, fall, etc. Just a cozy mystery that's set in this season that we are in right now. Then Foodie Freeway is a food-related cozy mystery. There are so many food-related cozy mysteries out there. I think it's the biggest niche, the biggest niche of cozy mysteries is food. So Foodie Freeway. Then the blue section is middle grade, Midtown. So it's middle grade. I love middle grade. I actually have read a lot more this year than I have last year and the year before. So this is middle grade, Midtown. And we have 3 spots for this. We have Animal Crossway. So it has to have either an animal on the cover, an animal in the story. It can be a companion. It could be a main character is an animal. Anything that has to do with an animal. Then we have Friendship Drive, which is a story about friendship. Super easy. And then we have Who Did It Route. So it has to be a middle grade mystery. It can be Nancy Drew, Hardy Boys. It can be anything that's a mystery, as long as it's middle grade. Then we have the pink section, which could not be anything else but romance. And we have Rom-Com Road, which is to read a romantic comedy. Next is Enemies to Lover's Lane. I thought that was so cute because we've heard of Lover's Lane, but never Enemies to Lover's Lane. So read a book that is enemies to lovers. And then the last one is Sweet Street. And that's any sweet romance. But that's all that I read anyways. Well, I was going to say not all of them are sweet, but all of them are going to be no spice. But a sweet romance story. Then the next section, which I actually forgot to mention, this is Romance County, if you want to know the name of the county. Then the next one is orange. This is Thriller Township. So it has to do with mysteries, and thrillers. And we have Dead End. I actually changed this one. It used to be Thriller Throughway, but I changed it to Dead End. So it's so much fun that way. But that's any thriller. Any thriller that I want. It just has to, have a dead end to it, I guess. Then Butler Boulevard is a classic mystery. That could be Agatha Christie, Sherlock Holmes, anything that is a classic mystery. It could even, honestly, I would include Nancy Drew, Hardy Boys. Those are all classics. So Butler Boulevard is a classic mystery. And then Hitchhiker Highway is a mystery or thriller set in another country. So I'll have to find a thriller or something, a mystery or a thriller that's set in another country. So I thought that was kind of fun because hitchhikers, they're traveling. We want to travel someplace else. We're going to travel outside of wherever we live. Next, we have Rarely Read Village. It's kind of a mix because I read a ton of new authors, so that's not really something new to me. But I will have to go out and actually find a new author to read. So we have New Author Avenue, and we just have to pick a book that we've never read from that author before. Poetry Parkway. I never read poetry. I do enjoy a good children's poetry book, though, but I want to get out of my comfort zone and choose adult poetry books. I just thought it would be so much fun. And then we have Classic Alley, and that's any classic. I read some classics every once in a while. I'm getting more into them, but this is just the rarely read Village to me, or new to me. So, and then the yellow section is called Historic Haven, and if you can tell by the title, this is historic novels. So we have Western Way, which is about a Western setting. It can be cowboys. It can be just the Midwest. It can be I read a lot of Western books, especially from Tracy Peterson and what's her name? Karen Whitmire. So anything that just has a Western way about it. It can have horses on the cover, cowboys on the cover. We can work with that too. Then the next prompt is Historic Highway, and this is a historical romance book because I have a cute little dress and gloves. So Historic Highway is a historical romance. I love historical romance, and I read a ton of it, so that should be no problem. We can also pick just a regular historical fiction book, but I really want historical romance. And then World War II Boulevard, which I'm going to also include World War I. So any book that is set in World War II or I, that is that. Or any wartime era book. I'll include all of the wartime eras. So any wartime era book is World War II Boulevard. Then we're to the last side, but we're going to flip the board and I'm going to explain the punishment board next. I'm very, very excited. So the next section we have is Middle of Nowhere. Middle of nowhere, and that is fantasy and sci-fi section, because it's the middle of nowhere. You don't know where you are. We have Fantasy Freeway, which is any fantasy book. Next, we have Milky Way, which is a book set in space, so that's any sci-fi book. And then Alien Avenue it has to have an alien character in it. So I kind of had two sci-fis and one fantasy, but we also have Fairy Tale Station. So we kind of have two spots for fairy tale / fantasy. So it all balanced out. Then the last section we have is the Royal Palace and Paradise Parkway. This is the island vacation royalty settings. I should come up with a name for that. I don't know what yet. Royalty Island or something. But we have the Royal Palace, which is any book that has royalty in it. It can be fantasy or contemporary. And we also have Paradise Parkway, which is an island or vacation setting. So if a character goes on vacation or it's set on an island or a vacation type area, that counts. Even Europe would count. I would consider it because it is a vacation setting. At least to me, I'd love to go there. It's time to flip the board. Dun, dun, dun. Try to flip it up. Oh, good. I flipped it the right way. All right. So we saw a wider detailing of this amazing board. It's so cool. I love it. All right. We're going to go through this entire board too, because why not? Why not? We do have punishments. I'm trying to come up with even more kind of fun type punishment things. But so far, this board is so cool. I love it. It's so awesome. We have the landing site, which is the Go Start space. Nothing happens on the Go spaces. Maybe I should change that. I don't know. I'll think about it. But the landing site is just there to start our journey every single month. I'm not sure if I want to continue the boards from where I stopped the last month. I might with the backboard, or I might, because that might be easier to try to get more spaces. So I might just start where we landed last month. Anyways, landing space, our landing site, we're going to start off with the corners. Then we have calms down. Same thing as jail time, but calms down. And over here, we have radio check. So if radio check happens, we got to go to the calms down because the radio check didn't work and our communications are down. So that means, and this is a real struggle for me. That means, so if I don't, I forgot to mention, if I don't complete my TBR from the previous month with the pink side, that's when we use this board. This is the harder board. So calms down means I can't listen to audiobooks for 1 week. It's going to push me because I really want to try to read more physical and ebooks. So for 1 week out of the month, it can be any week that I want. From Monday to Sunday, I want to read physical and ebooks. So if we get calms down, we have to do that. Then the last big square on the board, this is UFO parking. And UFO parking means I need to pick up my TBR because we have the UFO and it picks us up, right? See how I did there? It means pick up your TBR and start over. So we have to start the entire game over again. Even though we may have been on our 8th book or whatever, we have to redo the entire TBR. We're going to start off with the utilities and everything. So we have the spaces that say Beam Me Up. Beam Me Up originally went with my first reward thing that I did. And so with Beam Me Up, I might end up doing where I take out $20, although that's a lot out of my reward thing. Let me know what Beam Me Up could be as like a punishment. I'll let you guys come up with that, and we'll see who comes up with the best one. And so we'll do that. Okay. Next, we have the rest are pretty much set. So the space train stations, I figured all of them I would put as part of any of my yearly lists. So I didn't have 2026 and 2026 books on my other side. We're going to do that. We're going to include the 26 books in 2026, my reread list, my author's backlog list, anything that's on my reading goals. I can choose which one I want to do, but it has to be off of one of my reading goal lists. So if you want to know the titles, just for fun, for the space stations, we have the Skylab B, and they're all named after actual space stations. So we have Skylab B, International Space Station, Skylab. So we have Skylab and Skylab B because I guess there was 2 of them. And the last one is Industrial Space Facility. So they're all named after actual international space stations, which I thought was kind of a cool thing to do. For our utilities, we have the Wormhole, and Wormhole would just send us to the nearest international space station. So the Wormhole will send us to the International Space Station, which I guess the next one over would be Skylab. But it's the same prompt, so any of my TBR lists in my reading journal. Then we have Milky Way, and I just came up with this idea, and I really love it. So for Milky Way, we have to pick a book that matches a random planet. So I'm going to find a planet generator. We're going to randomize it, pick a planet, and we have to either match the cover, the color scheme with the planet, or we can do the setting. So if it's a hot planet, it's a hot setting. If it's a cold planet or a frozen planet, we have to pick the same type of setting. Then we have the card system for the side. We couldn't go without doing a card system. So the first card system is Intergalactic Travel, and there is, I believe, 2 of these, I think, at least 2 or 3. The Intergalactic Travel cards are cards that add or take away roll, or Intergalactic Travel adds rolls, not take away, it adds rolls. So instead of doubles, as the pink board had, we're actually going to add rolls if we land on Intergalactic. So we're going to keep it at 8 rolls for the punishment board, but if we land on Intergalactic Travel, we'll have to add rolls, and it just depends on what these cards say. And so we have anything from, I forgot, I do need to attach these. I'll probably put them on the blue sides because you don't want to cover up that beautiful galaxy, right? So I'm going to have to put those on there some way. I know I have that one too. Can't find it though. Oh, there it is. There's my gateway. Okay, so Intergalactic Travel, I have between 1 and 5, I believe. I haven't mixed these up. So anywhere between 1, 2, 3, 5, there should be 4s in here. Yes, 4s. That tells me how many rolls I have to add on to my TBR. That's Intergalactic Travel. I love those. I think those are so much fun. So that's Intergalactic Travel. Our gateway cards are these. I love these. They're so cool. If you couldn't tell, I'm a huge Stargate fan, specifically Stargate HG1. So I think this is the only actual real sci-fi stuff is the Gateway and the Intergalactic Travel. The rest is based on real space stuff. So the Gateway, these prompts are books I've been putting off for some reason or another, or authors I've been putting off. So we have the Wormling series. I can't remember the author. I think it's Jerry B. Jenkins. It's a middle grade series. We have the Bright Empire series by Stephen R. Lawhead. I started that series back in 2020. Tamara Alexander is an author I've never read from, been putting off. What Not to Do on Vacation. I can't remember the author of that book. We have Everything's Coming Up Rosie. That's, I think, by Courtney Walsh. Kara Isaac is an author I've been putting off. So these are books and authors I've been putting off for a while. And what's cute about these is I actually made the graphics, or found the graphics actually, that I made the one graphic though, because I didn't have it. But this little astronaut is writing a book. So that graphic corresponds with an author that I've been putting off. Then we have the little astronaut reading on the moon. So that's books that I've been putting off. And then, oh yeah, that's right. These are standalone books that I've been putting off. And then these ones are series that I've been putting off. So if I get one of these, I might make it to where I actually have to read the whole series that month, as long as they're not super long. I don't think any of them are, but I found this cute little astronaut and I put him on top of a stack of books. So those are all of the gateway prompts, which I love. All right, on to all the little spaces. I don't have different names for these as far as different sections, because all these are planet related or things you find in space. So the purple section is moon and sun. So this is celestial stuff. And the moon is a person on the cover because the man on the moon. Get it? And then the sun is the third book in a series because Earth is third from the sun. So I really tried hard to come up with very, very intricate prompts in some of them because I wanted it a little bit harder because this is our challenge board. So third book in a series. So technically moon and sun are celestial, but the actual prompts are not celestial. Then we have the blue side, which is the red giant. Author has more than 8 books published. a red giant is under or around 8 solar masses before it becomes a red supergiant. So a red giant has to do with 8 solar masses. So I think that's why I chose it. So it has to be an author that has at least 8 books published. So it can't be a brand new author. It has to be somebody who's published at least 8 books. Shooting Star is a sci-fi author. So any author who's published sci-fi. And then Black Hole, a short story collection. Because I don't read a lot of short stories, so they really don't pop up all that much. Just like black holes, we don't really see them. We really don't discover them too much. So short story collection for that one. The next side is all about the planets, and I put them in order of the planets. So we start at Mercury, which is the closest to the sun, and we work our way right to left instead of left to right because we travel this way on the board. So that's why I did it that way. So all these up to the red are all the planets. I included Pluto because Pluto has always been a planet to me because he's cute and he's tiny. And I mean, I think some people still consider him a planet, so I am too. Okay, no arguing. You can argue gently, but Pluto was a planet when I was homeschooled, so we're going to count Pluto. That's my argument. Okay, enough about that. Enough about cute Pluto. Okay, Mercury is our first one. And that is a book with mixed reviews. So anything that, because I think Mercury has hot and cold temperatures. Don't quote me though. That might have been why I chose that. So a book with mixed reviews. So anything that's probably between a 2.5 to a 3-star on Goodreads would count, as there's a lot of mixed reviews, or what I've heard has mixed reviews. Next is Venus, 2 books that have the same title, because Venus is considered Earth's twin. So 2 books that have the same title, and I only have to read one of them, but I do have to find 2 books that have the same title. I might make it to where I have to read both of them. We'll see. We'll see. And then the last one in the pink section is Earth, takes place on or in the water, because our planet probably is the one planet that has the most water, or one of them has the most water. So we're going to read a book that takes place on or in the water. The orange section has Mars, and Mars is red on the cover because it's the red planet, so we have to pick a book that has red on the cover. Jupiter, it's one of the biggest planets, so that is a book that is plus 500 or more pages, which actually just went to the bookstore the other day and found a couple that intrigued me, so I added it to my list, because when you look up 500 plus page books online, they don't really show you anything that's new. They only show you the go-to 500 plus page books, and I don't want to read them. So I've been trying to find my own, and it's been working out a little bit better. Then the last one is Saturn, a character that gets engaged or married in the book, because Saturn has rings. I know, very hokey, but we're going to go with it. So for our last section of planets, we have Uranus, which is a seasonal read. And that's because Uranus has the most extreme seasons in the solar system, which is pretty cool. So we definitely had to add that in. Then for Neptune, that is a winter read. Even in the middle of summer, we're going to have to read a winter read, because Neptune is known as a very, very cold planet. Then we have Pluto, because he's so tiny, we're going to go with a novella. I don't read novellas very often, so that is a pretty big harder prompt, because I don't have a lot of novellas in my, if any, in my book on my bookshelves, but we'll have to find a novella somewhere. The next couple of sections have to do with celestial things you'll find in space. So the first one is the yellow section. We have Supernova, which is an emotional story. And because of this, I chose Supernova for an emotional read, because supernovas symbolize the ultimate tragic ending of a star. It's the destruction of a star. So an emotional read. Emotional read. Okay. Next we have is Halley's Comet, and for that is to read a memoir, because Halley's Comet is pretty famous, right? So we're going to read a memoir of some famous person. That's what that one is for. And then the last one in this yellow section is Nebula. That is to start a new series, because nebulas are I believe the beginning of creation of the stars. So a nebula is a new star that comes in. So we're going to start a new series. Then we're finally at the last row. I'm so excited. We have the green section, which is Interstellar Dust, and that is metallic element on the cover. So interstellar dust is, I just consider it sparkly and metallic. I don't know why, but we're going to do a book that has a metallic element on the cover, and that can be either has the actual cover is metallic, or the pages are metallic, or I would also consider anything that's made out of metal that's on the cover. It could be a car, honestly, that's made of metal. But anything that has metal on the cover, hammers, axes, swords, anything like that. And then we have hydrogen gas, which is a Kindle book. Because hydrogen is the lightest and most abundant element in the universe, it's colorless, odorless, and tasteless. So when I thought about that, I thought hydrogen gas, Kindle book. Kindle books are odorless, they're tasteless, if you consider it. And so I thought that a Kindle book would be great for hydrogen gas. It could be anything Kindle Unlimited if I have it at the time, or one that I own or even can borrow from the library. Then the last one in the green section is Dark Matter, and that is a black cover because it's dark matter. So we have to pick a black cover. Then the last two, we have Asteroid and Comet. And the asteroid is leftover from a previous TBR. So if we did not complete it, because we're playing this board, we did not complete the board last month in the pink spot. So we'll have to have a leftover from a previous TBR. And if we fail the pink side more than once, we can pick from any of those. And the last one, Comet, that is part of a duology. So when I was thinking about this, I think I was thinking about part of a duology because sometimes comets can have tails or be twin comets. So that's what I was thinking about when I thought of comets. So part of a duology. It could be the first book or the second book, but it can't be more than a duology. So, okay, that is the punishment board. I'm excited. It's a little bit harder prompts to fulfill. There's, different cards and stuff. It's going to be so much fun for playing this game. So I'm going to put this video up the day before I play the board game. So the board game, the actual playing of it, I am going to play tomorrow. So make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss me playing the first ever Katie's Bookopoly board. I am so excited. So I will see you all tomorrow for the next video.